LeBron James goes off on toxic women and Ayesha Curry for disrespecting Steph Curry? No fucking way. Not possible. LeBron James? Oh, don't tell me after he retires he's gonna start his red pill dating coach arc.
Listen,
I need a D green. No! Fucking sound effect on my board.
I'm in locker rooms and shit now, but it's a lot of women out here that's now kind of flipped the script.
They go for it.
And some homies out here that's trying to be good too, and just trying to figure it out. And now they looking in the mirror saying, "Damn, what did I do wrong?"
So most recently, NBA star, which I think even that title kind of would not do it justice, but LeBron James actually ended up making an appearance on his wife's
NBA God, LeBron James. If you're gonna glaze.
And there was a lot of things that he touched on, but one moment in particular in which he basically had called a lot of these women out here in these streets out, okay?
Really?
And it was under my own assumption and impression that maybe there was a little bit of conversation in regards to what's going on right now with the Steph and Ayesha conversation. We're going to go ahead and break it down.
Well,
so I'm
let's
going to
see.
go ahead and insert clips.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you from? And what's your crazy?
My name is Jess Douglas, and I'm
So LeBron's wife is a podcast now. Okay. All right. That's cool.
from Tennessee. And my crazy is anything.
You in a relationship?
Well, I dumped him.
You don't. Why y'all broke up?
I don't know. It wasn't going anywhere. It was like 30 years of like
30 years.
On the panel, it was Kai Cenat as well as Phantom and Taco
It took her 30 years to realize that shit wasn't going anywhere.
there, and they were having like a guys edition of the podcast.
Right.
So this then spawned a conversation during the podcast in which one of the hosts actually asked a question to Kai Cenat, and that question was, do you know that the person or a girl that you're dating is the right one right away?
Boy, question. Got a question. How quickly do you know when it ain't going nowhere?
Like 30 days. First day. First day. In my opinion.
First day?
No. Like first day meet up. Like first date, you'll know. In my
First
opinion.
date.
First date.
Oh,
Yeah,
first
yeah.
dates.
That's
I
true.
will
That's
say-
true.
Knowing that a girl is wifey material off of one date, that's impossible. You can't know that. That's not possible. That's not enough time. That's not enough circumstances for her to display wife talent. Definitely off of the first date, though, you will know if you like her energy, if you still find her attractive. You know what I mean? If you want to sleep with her, that you'll know. If you want to sleep with her and if you want her near you a lot, that you'll know off the first date. Because you might want to sleep with a chick, but you don't want her around too much. You can distinguish that difference as well. But wife, I'm going to need more time than that.
But you feel like you can know you're going to be with somebody on the first date.
100%. Forever?
No.
Yeah, man.
You don't know
be
forever.
forever.
First date forever.
Like,
You can go
you don't
take
know
a date. You don't know forever. Yeah.
I will say the older you get, the faster you can make your decision, though. But I do believe a bare minimum of a year and a half. Not even just a year and a half, a bare minimum.
LeBron James and Kai Cenat being the two people who are actively in long-term relationships. All we know that LeBron is married and Kai Cenat is in a long-term relationship with his now girlfriend. And so, they were saying, it's just...
LeBron automatically goes down as the GOAT if he dies still married to his wife, who is a black woman. Because MJ, I believe, divorced his first wife and then married a white woman, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that out. Bro, I didn't even know this lore. I just guessed it off of vibes. Michael Jordan's wife was Juanita Vanoy. Oh, she wasn't black to begin with. Oh, I was wrong. He started off Latina. Okay. All right. Kind of like Kobe. A former model who I can't judge. Nigga, my wife is Mexican. I'm not judging. Trust me, I'm not. But I'm just saying, okay, I thought he would have went with black because, he's a black American. I thought he would have started black, then just went straight to white. Starting off Latina? Okay. Interesting strategy. They were married for 17 years and had 3 children together before their divorce was finalized in 2006. That's pretty fucking solid, dude. 17 years. Good shit. All right, let's see. Second wife. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Don DeMarco. Yeah. Bro said he warmed up with the Latina. He warmed up with the Latina. Then graduated. He graduated to the Becky. And she is carrying the heavies. Clearly, aftermarket. Interesting.
How do you know when it's over?
When it's completely over?
The reason why I thought this was very interesting and I wanted to put a little tidbit right here is because as a mature married man, the response that LeBron James had to that question is very telling.
Okay.
Because he said when it's really over, as in, you know, alluding to the fact that relationships go through ebbs and flows.
Sure.
I feel.
And don't y'all think it's odd how you could be really into somebody and then off them the next day?
That's crazy.
Off them the next day.
That is the scary part about love.
That's the ick. My wife told me about that. Women get that. I guess men can get it too, where you just become instantly repulsed by a person after learning something about them or observing something about them. I don't really think dudes get the ick. It definitely sounds like something that women experience. A dude will fuck a potato sack. Do you understand that? I'm not saying I would do it. I'm not saying you would, but there's a guy. We all know there's a guy that's gonna fuck a potato sack, right? A rotten potato sack. This is the kind of creatures that you're dealing with here. The point I'm making is the ick. It's like, yeah, maybe we won't propose to you. Maybe we wouldn't even want anybody to see us with you, but
I feel.
And don't y'all think it's odd how you could be really into somebody and then off them the next day?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
See, that is the scary part about love.
But off them like forever? Or you just saying off them for that
Because
day?
you're going to have your ups and downs.
You're going to have it. If you're in a relationship.
Again, this is something that people who are going to be married have to understand, because there has been this facade of this picture perfect imagery of marriage. And that is one of the grandest demises of marriages of all time, is the anticipation of what people believe.
Reva, what you know about being married? What you know about marriage? Because marriage is different than mere from just mere cohabitation, bro. Because once you put that ring on, bro, it becomes way more difficult to leave for both parties. And that adds a whole nother dynamic to the equation. So, I mean, Reva, she has some pretty good takes. I will be honest. She does seem to get this shit. But it's just interesting hearing someone who isn't married talk about marriage. Maybe she's been married in the past. I don't know. I don't see a ring.
Like a lot of people, though, get off people quickly. Like they be so into you and then they be like, okay, I'm done.
Well, they went into you.
Right.
You look at it, you can't
nah. He just wanted to fuck. I think you're misunderstanding what that was. But you wouldn't even know about that, though. You've been with LeBron since you was in high school. So, you're
like, damn, what did I do?
Oh,
it's them. No, I'm just saying anybody in general. Like, it's gonna be like, what did I do? Like, if they get off you that fast, then it was never meant to be in the first place. Yeah. Like, you can get off somebody for the day. You get off somebody for a couple of weeks. That's what relationships is all about. You know, y'all go through ups and downs, but like getting off you and you so in deep with somebody, and then you like, the next day you wake up, you're like, oh, this shit's trash. That's crazy.
Again, he's talking about the reality from somebody who's married, right, for a very long period of time, somebody who has multiple children with his wife, and this is a natural flow of marriage. Don't start panicking or think like this is normal.
Nah, no doubt, bro. You got to take water breaks in your marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be like, pause, hold up, let me get a drink of water. And what that looks like is just giving each other space and then coming back with the intention that I am going to be, you know what I'm saying, an involved, attentive partner in this relationship. I can see how it gets to a point in a marriage where you just stop choosing to do that. I'm sure that happens all the time. One day, the thought occurs to the guy, I should put my phone down and give this chick some attention. Fuck it, never mind, maybe tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes. Next thing you know, you're fucking getting divorced, dude.
Ladies, listen to the king. Did you hear he say, look in the mirror and say what, king? Tell the ladies, because they need to hear.
You gotta look in the mirror and say it's not me.
Yeah.
You know, it's
the
not
ladies
me.
need to hear that.
Now, this is so interesting because she was used to the conversation of maybe the pandering to women or the fluffing women up, and you know, and so she was kind of like going in that direction, and he definitely quickly shift gears.
By the way,
Y'all
the
be
men
having
too.
love-
Yeah.
The men too, because it's some cutthroat, ruthless ass out here right now too.
She said, hold on a second. Get me some pearls so I can clutch them. Okay? She so quickly clutched her pearls, not only because of him also targeting the conversation to men having to look themselves in the mirror and say that it's not them, but also for the terminology that he used in describing a lot of these women out here.
Listen, I sit in the locker room, I'm in locker rooms and shit now, but it's a lot of women out here that's now kind of flipped the script.
They go for everything.
And some homies out here that's trying to be good too and just, trying to figure it out. And now they looking in the mirror saying, damn, what did I do wrong? Homies, it ain't you.
Well, it is you. It's a misalignment. It's both of you, right? Your frequencies are misaligned. You guys are, if it's not working out, that's all that means. Your frequencies are misaligned. So, And usually it is the guy's fault, especially if we're talking about the kind of guys that he's rolling around with, multimillionaires, famous athletes. If they're having woman problems, more than likely it's stemming from a place where they are pursuing women that they believe, they don't deserve those women. We're talking about very attractive, super hot, very beautiful women. The kind of, the Instagram baddies that have gotten the body work and the face work and their whole career is chasing famous dick. A lot of these dudes, even though they're wealthy, famous, young, good looking oftentimes, they've still put that woman on a pedestal. And so she gives you the initial time of day because of your status and all the shit that I already mentioned. But when she feels that energy of, I don't deserve her, it's going to turn her off. She's going to lose attraction. If you've ever had a situation where you got a girl's number, she seemed really eager and excited to give you her number, to meet you, to talk, for you to ask her out, and then within a short period of time, like, she becomes dry and disinterested, that's what happened. You pedestalized her energetically, she picked up on it, and she lost interest.
I could be being a little bit presumptuous. I could be making, my own educated guess. He did not clarify and call names, but based off of the climate of conversations that is going on right now, currently today. I don't know when they filmed that, but even still, this rings the same tune of the Ayesha and the Steph Curry, where it seems like this man is a good guy, stable man, faithful man, family man, and it's still not enough.
I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl, and that's it.
So you end up...
Yeah, we already spoke about this situation. The whole Ayesha doesn't want to be married to superstar NBA player Steph Curry. She doesn't find him very attractive anymore.
Meeting
he doesn't turn her on like that, and he doesn't excite her. And probably he's not even trying. Who knows, man? A lot of these dudes, Steph, talk about God and all that shit. He might be fucking bitches about a dozen, bro. You wouldn't even know. And so his wife is lonely and bored. You know what I mean?
Now wife, when you guys were 14, 15 years old in a church group, you end up starting to date when you're in college. Why get married so young?
Why waste time if you found the right one, right?
After we got married, we found out we were pregnant with our daughter so quickly. I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. I have goals for myself. Like, this doesn't feel right.
I also have to say that I think that in a lot of these conversations about Ayesha and Steph Curry, a lot of people believe that, it's only because of Ayesha Curry and people are hating on her, or people just don't want to see her doing good, or because she's just a woman who's telling the truth. And that's not really what it is. I think the point of the matter is that, men alone are witnessing situations that they can relate to. Doesn't matter how large or how different the scale is. They can relate to being in relationships with women and doing as much as you can and her being okay with it. And then all of a sudden she wakes up, she's not okay with it and still complaining over what exactly? Like, a lot of men can relate to that in dealings with women.
Yeah, but that's bullshit, because you thinking that because you pay the bills and you provide, that she can't be dissatisfied with something that's not related to that, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. Look, I understand the concept of knowing how to shut your mouth and bite your tongue when you don't got another option, right? Beggars can't be choosers type shit. That makes a lot of sense. And I think that's the position that majority of women found themselves in once they got married, had a child, it's like they don't have any options, because trying to get another man to marry them after they've already been married once and had children, I mean, now it's starting to become relatively realistic, but in the past, 20, 30, 40 years ago and beyond, that shit was dead, bro. Impossible. I mean, just getting divorced, period. You've put a scarlet letter on yourself. And so really, beggars could not be choosers, and they had to learn how to be content with being married to a person that is failing to meet whatever desires or expectations they may have romantically. But when you are living in 2025 and you're Ayesha Curry, she's already worth millions, but fuck that. If she and Steph get a divorce, she's getting half of his assets. No question about that shit. Steph ran into this marriage as a big-eyed puppy dog lover boy and Christian. I know for 1,000% this nigga did not have her sign a prenup, bro. That did not happen. Of course, this is my opinion. This is allegedly. I don't know what the fuck this guy did. My guess, no prenup. So Ayesha isn't in the same kind of cage that women have been for most of Western history. And I think that's what's really infuriating a lot of men. A lot of men don't like the idea that you can be taking care of all of the material things and even not be unfaithful while you're doing it, and that still not be enough for a woman to be romantically satisfied. But you know what? Those are also the same guys that are afraid to give their wife criticism in, you know, for how she can make things better. Maybe she could lose a little weight, do some stuff to spruce herself up a little bit more, maybe put on a little makeup, you know, so she looks nice in the house, even though you're not going out, you ain't got no plans, right? Why is it that she only got to look good for strangers, huh? When strangers are gonna see her, right? If you have this attitude of your girl can't give you criticism or you know, have problems even though you're paying the bills and whatever the fuck, then how you gonna give her criticism for, you know, things she need to improve upon if she's also doing the cultural requirements, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, not cheating on you, right? In fact, I think that's probably why a lot of women get fat. They get fat out of rebellion. Not to fat shame or anything like that, but it's an objective truth, right? If a guy got with you at a certain size, if you double that, you know what I'm saying? He's probably not happy, because if that's what he likes, that's what he would have got on day one. You know what I mean? In fact, he probably had to work harder to get you. Let's just keep it 1,000, right? If he was just trying to get you times 2, he probably would have had to spend half as much on dates and gifts and shit like that, right? We're living in the same reality, right? I'm not trying to be mean or none, truly. And so, because she looking at you and she knows that you're going to be offended if you complain about this and that because you're paying the bills and you're being loyal and all that, she's like, okay, well, I'll just get my happiness from this fucking, you know, gallon jar of Haagen-Dazs. Yeah. Krispy Kreme is since you won't make me cream, I'm going to get Krispy Kreme. That one was crazy. All right. Is that a sign we should end the video? I think so. So was LeBron James talking about Ayesha Curry here in Steph Curry's situation? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. I can see how you might draw that connection. But if you really want to hear in depth my thoughts on the whole Ayesha Steph situation, I've been told it's not what a lot of people expect a guy like me to say. Go ahead and click that link in the pinned comment or in the description. Thank you for watching the video. Peace out.